Ooh. It says, who hurt you and what have you done to heal?
Why somebody had to hurt me? Lee, go ahead. I see you thinking.
I would say my ex hurt me.
Okay.
But
hold on. What did he do to hurt you?
Lack of respect.
Okay.
Because I feel like one thing about when guys step out or something like that, my whole thing is I'm a realist. I'm a logical person. So if you can sit here and tell me a logical reason as to why you might have done what you did.
All right, wait. I gotta pay. I've been trying to hold it. But...
Okay. So the question is, who hurt you and what have you done to heal?
So, my ex and my past relationship, due to infidelity and lack of respect.
Mm-hmm.
As far as healing from it, I just really had to like separate myself from it completely. He the type of person that want to stay in touch with you, and he was on like this get back tour. I don't know for what. It was
Did you
like,
say get back to it?
Because I feel like it'll stop for maybe about a month or so, and then right back on it, like 12-week city type
back
shit.
like I never left.
Yeah, and it's
12-week city.
Yeah, it's like no, like I didn't. Like even now, to this day, and we broke up almost 3 years ago.
Mm.
But it's like you have to like I really had to fully separate myself, which is kind of hard because he had children that to this day I'm still close with. So it was hard to try to not really separate myself from them, but it's like that's their dad. So it's like, but you just gotta separate yourself and really start trying to like get back to you, because I feel like I was so consumed in what he needed and what he wanted that I started neglecting my own needs.
Mm-hmm.
So I really had to just stop worrying about him, what he was doing, who he was with, block him out completely, and just really worry about myself.
Keisha, who hurt you?
I mean, I've been hurt a few times, but the one that, you know, really kind of like stuck real deep, you know.
It was an ex.
Yeah.
Okay. How long ago was this ex?
It's really recent.
Oh, really recent?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say really recent, you mean like months or like how many months? Weeks? What are we talking about?
About 9-10 months.
Okay. Okay. So are you healed?
Not completely.
Okay. What are you doing to heal?
Separation for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I got just tunnel vision and focus on the things that I've always wanted to do for myself that I kind of put on a back burner because
When you was with him?
Yeah, because I was so focused on doing whatever it was to make him happy, whether that was not doing what I needed to do for me just to be there for him or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think Lee, in a previous episode you was talking about how like you do stuff that you wanted him to do for you.
Yeah.
You now do for yourself.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a big thing. So it was an ex for me too. And then he had the nerve to pass away. Not that it was his fault, but it was just like I felt like I didn't get no closure because and the crazy thing is the stuff that he did that hurt me, I didn't find out until after he passed away. So it's like I couldn't even
really be mad and address it because like damn now I'm still grieving.
Yeah, like I cannot really be mad at like a dead person. Like I can, but like what is that going?
Get you nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah. So what he did that hurt me what's crazy is he played a role. Like because like I said, the stuff that I found out that hurt me, I didn't find out until after he passed away. So he played a very good role at being a stand-up guy and, you know, the guy that I wanted, but that wasn't really him. So I feel like posing is what hurt me. To heal, I think it's just time. For me, it was just time. Because, like, not only am I hurting because he's now no longer here, I'm also hurting because of the stuff that I found out he did.
Right.
So it's like now I'm conflicted, and the type of hurt is different because it's like betrayal on top of grieving. So it was hard and it took a while. But yeah, it was just time for me. It was nothing I did necessarily. I think they say that the quickest way to get over someone is to get under someone else.
That's not true.
It was very true for me because I'm serious. It was a guy that I met a couple of months after he passed away that I feel like helped me get through like the grieving process and like get my mind off of the stuff that I found out he did and things like that. And I wouldn't advise anyone else to get under someone else to get over someone else, but it helped me in that situation. Because he was alright. So the guy after him wasn't somebody I wasn't looking for. Like, you know, when you
I feel
start
like
dating
at the weirdest times. You don't be looking for nothing. Don't be looking for
when
nobody.
you, but you ever like date somebody and the next person you date, you look like you're not necessarily looking for the like similarities, but you're comparing them.
Of course, yeah.
And they were completely different people. So I didn't really need to be like, oh, he do this and he did this, or he did this and he did this. It wasn't that because he was completely different from my ex. So it was really good to have like some fresh meat.
Well, at least maybe that's why I worked, because you know you didn't get the same person.
Yeah, it was a completely different person.
And maybe that's why I work. But sometimes you don't always get a different person.
Sometimes you get somebody and they remind you of the other person.
You get the same exact person with a different name and a different face.
Yeah.
Yes, but it wasn't that. So luckily, I also did like my own healing on my own. It might not be the most healthiest thing, but I cut off a lot of people who I might have met through him, or we had like some mutual circles. I cut off a lot of those people because they reminded me of him.
Right.
So it was like with my healing process. But yeah, that was it. And then my last card is something along the same lines. How do you tend to your mental health?
Ooh. Isolation.
I drink a lot.
Isolation.
No, for real. Drinking.
A glass of wine a day.
Keep who on?
I don't know, but it just helps.
Keeps me away from prison.
Yeah, like
It because it mellows you. It doesn't. Everything don't hit you like boom. It's like, oh, here we go. Let me sip this wine. It's
Yeah.
all right. Like it's just a different like coping mechanism. And I don't advise everybody to pick up a glass of wine because
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. I don't want to advise nobody to do no drugs or anything of that nature, because some people might need something a little bit more harder.
Mhm.
However, you know, it's all about.
That's something more hardy.
It is. It's really just about like just to break down and getting back in tune with yourself.
So if you find the right therapist, you can like vent and there's no judgment, and that definitely I feel like helps with. It's my turn.
Oh, it is? Yeah, not bad.
That definitely helps with like the healing process, the
No,
mental
it
health
really do.
and healing process.
Because you want to talk to somebody that really just don't know nothing.
Bias.
Because you know, like, all my friends is pretty much like straightforward. They're going to give it to you how it is. They're real blunt. And it's good to hear sometimes. And sometimes you just want to talk to somebody that don't know nothing.
Right.
Just so you can get a very different opinion. And you just want somebody that's going to, like, not necessarily cater to your feelings, but just, like,
Be a little bit more understanding.
yeah.
And I also think with
And just
therapy,
listen sometimes.
like
Sometimes you
I
don't
feel
know
like
other
when you
people.
tell your friends stuff, you only telling your side of the story. I think with therapy, they ask you questions
To get to the root.
Yes. And
Thank you.
find, I wouldn't say find your fault in the situation, but find your part.
Yeah, hold you
And
accountable.
Please.
yeah, hold you accountable. They definitely hold you accountable. And I think that's a good thing with like therapy, because your friends, I feel like for me with my friends, if they tell me stuff, I can in the back of my head be like, it's more than a story, but I'm still riding for you. Like,
Right.
it's like I might ask some questions like, oh well, what did he do, or like what did you do when he said this? But in therapy, like I said, they hold you accountable.
Yeah, your friends gonna be like, fuck that nigga, you ain't gotta cry with him. What if I just wanna cry right now?
And that's where they bias at. Like I'm a different kind of friend. I'm the kind of friend too. Like what happened? Like how did this all start? Like really what happened? And
Mm-hmm.
that's just where I'm at with it. But me personally, like if I'm calling one of my friends, we just not many. It's really not many. That's it. And I'm saying I'm like, listen, I done
First of
went
all,
outside
she barely called me. I gotta call her,
Right.
and that's how I find shit out.
Right.
We'll go. What's crazy is me and Keisha, like I said, we've been friends since high school. But we'll go like months without talking, and then I hit her up and we playing catch up. It's like, girl, let me tell you how this. I'm like, what? When that happened? Because last time you told me this.
Yup.
So,
Yup. Because I'm not one to call and put everybody in my business.
Right.
Because like you really can't talk to everybody. You might mess around and talk to the wrong person. Like each said, she'll call me, I'll give her the rundown. Or like I'll pick up the phone, I'll call my aunt, and sometimes it just burns me off because it's like she's quoting the Bible. Like I want to talk to my aunt. I don't want to talk to the minister.
Sister. I don't want to talk to Sister Connie.
I don't want
like.
to talk to the minister. I want to talk to my aunt.
Right.
But everything she gave me, she's giving it to me in the Bible, like how my grandma would do it. And she's giving it to me and just leaving it. You're gonna do what you want to do. Now it's up to you to go and figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
But when I'm calling you auntie, I want to be mad.
Yeah.
I want to be
vent.
angry.
I want
don't
you to be
want
mad with
you
me.
to tell me to go to the Bible. So most of the times, like I just withdraw and I don't say nothing, and that's probably how you be knowing something be going on. Like, wait, man, I ain't heard from this chick. Let me go ahead and
You
call her. See
disappear.
what's going, like
You
what's going on?
straight
'Cause
disappear.
I'll
I
shut down completely.
Listen, I'll look at my text right. I'm like, wait, when the last time I talked to Keisha?
4 or 5 months ago.
It's been a minute.
She done been quiet. Like,
But
what's going on?
what I will say is I love those kind of friends. Like me and Leah, we talk on a regular basis. But even like we'll go days without talking.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not as long as a week, but we'll go a couple days without talking. I think Aaliyah has more up to date information on what be going on with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I like those friends that you go like a while without talking and then y'all
Pick
talk
back
and
up.
it's just like
Yep.
y'all was just talking yesterday, right? But yeah, healing, I think there's a bunch of components. I think you definitely need to have people close to you that you can vent to, but therapy gives you that other perspective.
Yeah.
And a lot of, if you have a good therapist, will open your mind up to like things that you didn't even
Really
think
think
of.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, oh shit, like it could be that. Or like maybe I did do that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it, but now that I'm telling you and you giving it back to me, I did do that.
Right, because sometimes you gotta hear stuff come from
Somebody
somebody else
else.
before you
Mhm.
can actually like process it. Because it's not coming from with therapy. It's not coming from a malicious place.
Right.
It's coming from just trying to give you that understanding. Because when you go into therapy, that means you really at the end of your rope, and you need some other kind
Yeah,
of
because your friends not doing it,
Yeah.
your family not doing it. Like
yeah.
writing in your journal, I know I used to. I don't anymore, but I used to journal like crazy. Because a lot of stuff, like, I think I don't journal as much because I'm more very outspoken with the stuff that I think and how I feel. But there was a time where, like, I didn't feel comfortable saying how I felt or saying how I thought, and I would just write it.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, no, because if I say this, they going to say this or they going to think this. So I just write it.
Yeah.
But in therapy, like, you could say those things,
Yeah.
and it could be like things that if you say to your friend, they're gonna look at you sideways. But your therapist going, I wouldn't say, yeah, they'll understand and they'll give you a perspective that's, like you said, unbiased. But yeah, mental health is definitely important.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think that. So, I got a question. This is like throw it in there. What would you do if you was with a guy who you noticed may need like therapy or need to talk some shit out, not to his homies, but like to a professional? Would you voice that to them?
Yeah, I would suggest it. I mean, I ain't gonna be like, yeah, you need to go to fuck the therapy because
I'm sorry, I would.
it's about
Because you would do the same thing to me. You look at Keisha real fast, like something wrong with you. You really need to go talk to a therapist. And I'm like,
No, but like,
you talking about me?
sometimes
You need to go
people-
get you some help too.
Some people, I might say, sometimes people like, oh, you need to get some help. You need to talk to somebody. But like,
but everybody's not gonna take it in a manner like, oh,
and everybody don't say it in a serious manner either. Sometimes
they
like,
like, oh, you something wrong with you, but you be dead ass.
they be
serious,
real.
like,
They be like, something is really wrong with you.
My grandma used to say, "It's some truth in every joke."
Yeah.
So if you gonna joke with me and tell me there's something wrong with me and I need some help, then evidently, to a degree, I done did something. I done said something for you to really feel like it's really something wrong with me. I need
Have
to
you
go get
ever
some
been
help.
with somebody who like, you know, they need help outside of like their friends?
Mhm.
Yeah,
And so what do you do if like they don't like?
I can leave them alone.
Yeah, I gotta leave you where you at.
Yeah,
Or I try, like, by the time I leave you where you at, I done already tried everything. And if
It
you
didn't
really,
work.
and if you really feel like you this perfect person where you don't need no help, then it's nothing that I can do for you.
Yeah.
If you feel like you ain't getting, and then you can't feel like you don't need no help. Everybody, somebody say you need some help, like, you know, you probably right.
Yeah, like one of my exes, I don't
You
even
probably
know who
right.
it is, but I just feel like he's almost like a chameleon. Like, I feel like, who are you? You don't even know yourself. You don't know who
Right.
you are because you just like, you hear one thing or you
All
see
over the
somebody, so
place.
you just all over the place. Like, who are you?
Different people every day.
Yeah, if you ask 100 people who I am, you'll get probably the same answer. Oh, she just be chilling. She be laughing. She's silly. She just make.
Mhm.
You ask 100 people about this nigga. Oh, he a captain of this ship over here, or he a fucking scientist over here, or he a gangster over here. Like, who are
Yeah.
you?
Too
Like,
too
who-
many. You wearing too many
You
hats.
You trying to be
Mhm.
too many different people, and it's just like, who are you really? Like you haven't figured yourself out yet. Who are you? And I just felt like he probably, to this day, he probably
Don't
still
know
need to
who
go to
he
therapy.
is.
You don't know who you are.
You probably
You
don't
don't
know who he is.
Do you even know who you want to be? Like what? Like who are you?
But I feel like within yourself, you know when you all over the place like that.
Yeah, you can
And
feel it.
Yeah, because you don't feel right. You don't feel like
Yeah.
yourself. You can't get
You
this.
feel
done,
like
can't
you
get
all
that
over the
done.
place.
And that should prompt you to be like, either one, you need to slow down and
Very much so.
rethink your whole process, or you really should consider getting some sort of therapy.
All right, Keish, do you feel like you know who I am?
Yeah, you know what you
Lee,
do.
do you feel like you know who I am?
Yeah.
I feel like people who know me
Mhm.
know
Yeah.
who I am. I'm very like routine. I'm very like certain situations I handle the same way no matter what. No matter who it is this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm thinking, this is how I'm gonna move.
And that's been since high school.
Yeah,
Like, so,
it really has.
no-
But what's
nothing
crazy,
changed.
it's developed since high
Yeah,
school, but it's
but
still
still
that
the same
core
foundation.
of me is very real. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. Well, that is this episode. Keisha, thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Lee, what we doing? Where we at? How they find us?
Make
All
sure
of them
y'all
things.
follow us on YouTube. That's
All right, so
oh yeah.
Keish, when we say 2 S's, you gotta put up the 2, okay?
All right.
All right,
So make sure you follow us at Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's on YouTube, Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's on Facebook, Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's on Instagram. We haven't made no Twitter. I've been actually thinking about it.
I have 2. Are you heavy on Twitter? Because I'm not heavy.
I'm heavy on Twitter now because I feel like I
Okay.
be having a lot to say, but I don't want to make a
Yeah, so you want to do it quick.
Yeah,
So I do Twitter. I do Twitter too, but I don't have no followers.
I got well, let's get some for Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's.
All right, so we gonna do a poll on the page. If y'all do Twitter, if y'all feel like we should make a Twitter for Cocktails and Convo, then we'll do it. But we gotta get a majority rules type situation. I don't really know a bunch of people who are. First of all, these animals and all of this stuff that's going on in this background is. If we had a dog earlier, it'd be a lot going on.
Yeah, it do.
On Aaliyah's little balcony situation. It'd be like bugs and all of that. But if y'all feel like we should do a Twitter, we going to Twitter. If not, then we'll stick to Instagram, we'll stick to Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube
Yes.
so you know when we drop new episodes. But I think that's about it. All right, y'all.